Joey's been working with his dog, his new puppy.
Oh no.
Yeah, she's whining right now. It's pretty great.
How old?
She's like 4.5 months.
Oh wow.
She's like a puppy.
Yeah. Oh yeah. What kind?
She's a basically a pit mix, more or less, like brought pit American Bulldog, little mutt thing.
Mm-hmm.
She's really pretty though.
Hell yeah. It's
Yeah,
you're gonna get a handful, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, I definitely have a handful right now. It's pretty wild.
Well, I'll understand if you gotta run away and attend to a whiny baby.
Yeah, that's what we got. We're dealing with dog children.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
so I'm good.
Do you have any?
What's up?
Do you have any pets?
Yeah, I have a dog, but I'm off duty tonight. Don't have to deal with him, so we'll be uninterrupted on my end. I can guarantee you that.
Sick. What kind of dog do you have?
It's like a mutt. It's like kind of like border collie looking dog. Just got him from a rescue. I think he was from Puerto Rico, is what they told me. Which is a lot of the dogs here, I guess, are from Puerto Rico, in New York, for whatever reason. But since he's a rescue, he's got so many issues. He's like a fucking lunatic, but he's really cool. Yeah, it's great having him.
Yeah, I think I saw what he did to a set of your intuition liners at one point.
I don't want to talk about it. I'm just kidding. Yeah, fucking was horrible. He knew he was in trouble.
Yeah, it's hard to not get very frustrated with something like that.
Right. Man, those are my first sets too. And if you ride intuition liners, you know they only get better with time. It's like those things were like designed for
your foot. Yeah.
I left my first ones in a pizzeria for like a block that I walked, and I was like, oh no. And I walked back and the skates are gone. Just one block I walked. I was like, oh, I should have this.
Depending on how old those intuition liners were, I feel bad for whoever decided to take them.
Yeah.
Be stinky.
Yeah, I wasn't a good liner maintenance person.
No, those ones were really bad. Like specifically, those ones were fucking horrible.
I like how stinky they get.
You're into it?
Yeah.
Did you give other people's a whiff ever?
Yeah.
Yeah, you have.
Yeah.
Good. I fully support that.
Yeah. You got to see where you're at.
Are they new? Do you skate these at all?
Yeah.
Because the intuitions definitely lose stink if you don't skate them a lot.
If you don't skate them a lot, or if you do?
If you don't.
No. See, the opposite happened to me. I skated mine so much for so long that it became like this well-seasoned pan of smell. It was contained. I don't know. I can't explain it. I'm sure science doesn't support what I'm saying, but mine stopped stinking after a while. It was great.
No way. They hit a plateau and then went over the other side.
There's just no stink left. That was it. I used it all up.
Crazy.
But then if you really fuck up, you'll unlock it. I think I had it. I had them. What was it? Oh. Okay, we were on a little skate trip in Vermont, and we skated. It was the last day of it. We were gonna drive straight back after, and we were putting all of our stuff in a bubble above the car,
a tool.
Those things are a toolie thing. And I just got done skating. I threw the skates in there, and they just festered for 8 hours in a bubble with no air. And then they were fucked. They were so stinky. This is the liner that I was talking about, that I had skated it so much that it stopped stinking. And then I did that to it, and it was it was really bad. It was bad for a really long time. Then it got good again.
Yeah, I feel like those things can get nice and hot up there. You just heat that skate up in that black plastic bubble.
Yeah, I'm like kind of gagging just thinking about it. It's so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
I think all skaters can relate to the liner issues. I mean, I touch mine and my hands stink. I'm like, maybe I should think about it, but
I know. So bad. How do you guys, is this started already? Or how do you guys, are we going?
yeah, we're already live with the great and powerful Mike Torres, cinematography beast in the blade world. You've made so much stuff at this point. I was surprised that no one else has had you on their podcast yet.
I've done a couple podcasts, but it was like I did like a mushroom blading one a long time ago.
How long ago do you think?
I wasn't even living in New York yet, so it was a long time ago.
Oh, so when you were like still living in Rochester?
I did a brief stint in South Carolina, and I was living in South Carolina at the time. It was just a couple of years.
So you've been in New York for how long now? Because you were there before I left to come here, and you were there for quite a while, like in actual New York City.
Yeah. Maybe 6 years, a little over.
Okay. How did you bounce around from Rochester to South Carolina? Was it all just film work?
Yeah, it was a job. Like a job brought me down to South Carolina, and that same job brought me up to New York. So it was a pretty smooth, easy transition all the way around. Yeah, it was cheap to move here. That was good. Yeah, I had work lined up, so that was cool. And yeah, that's good. Yeah, I don't do that job anymore, but yeah, they got me up here. That's all that matters.
So there's like so many different aspects to like your filming history in skating. I guess I was first like, I didn't really know you as a filmer. I had first seen you skating. The clip I remember very specifically was you do a front torque in shadows. I think you're skating the Celtic frames, and it's the final clip in the section. No, you never skated Celtics? I don't know.
Go on.
Does that clip ring any bells? Long front torque on a pretty high rail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you remember what video that was? I couldn't remember which.
It was like just a section. It was a section that I made that was called "Before It's Too Late," and I probably released that in maybe
2010-ish?
Yeah, 11 maybe.
10, 11. That's kind of when I remember seeing it.
Yeah, it's like 10 or 11 years old now, which is fucking crazy to think about. Yeah.
Is that crew that you made that video with, is that who you were skating with predominantly, like growing up the whole time? Because I know you were skating with Tim Adams and some of those other guys up there. Is that just like kind of the final evolution of?
It was yeah. It was Tim Adams is like probably my oldest friend like that I've had, and then another guy called Steve Bruning, who I was just up in Rochester last week and I skated with both of those guys, which is great. And then maybe after skating for almost 10 years or something, we met Grant, and then Grant became a really good friend. And then just a lot of buddies along the way that are part of the solid crew, like Nate Hall and Dan Barnes was from Buffalo. He was pretty important to the crew back then.
I haven't heard Dan Barnes in a while.
What's that?
I haven't heard the name Dan Barnes in a while.
Yeah. He was in Florida for a while, but it sounds like he's going back to Buffalo, which is interesting. I don't know if he still skates or what. I haven't seen him in almost 10 years. It's crazy.
I remember seeing clips of him at Jersey barbecues. I'm pretty sure I saw him do something there. Like
I went to one of those.
Yeah?
Yeah. One. It was good. It was fun.
Yeah, I went to one as well.
You were probably a baby.
Yeah, I was very young.
Yeah.
How long?
You're an East Coast guy, right? Did you ever go to those barbecue things or anything like that?
I never made it to a barbecue. Yeah, that was a little bit far of a drive for how young I was.
Right. Yeah. True.
Yeah.
I interrupted you, Keller. What's up? Or what were you gonna say?
No, I was just wondering how long you've been skating for total. Do you remember like what, like how you started or like what's any of that?
Sure. How I started is not a very interesting story because it's like the same story that everybody has, but I was maybe I was like 13 or something. So it's been a long time. Like I'm not good enough at math to figure that out, but I think it's got to be around 25 years, maybe more. Yeah. And then I am only talking about like when I got like a pair of aggressive skates or whatever. God knows like what it was. Like, yeah, I was probably 7 or something when I just got like Walmart skates and was doing laps in the basement, you know. So,
Oh, sick.
yeah,
Classic
you know,
East Coast winter stuff.
yeah, exactly. Out there for Christmas, and we probably had 9 feet of snow in Rochester at the time, and you know, I just skate in the basement.
The unfinished basement.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
Love
that's in life.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
How'd you meet Tim?
That's funny. I met Tim. So I grew up in a small town, and I thought I was the only rollerblader in Rochester. And I had a cousin who's my age who was going to a roller rink. And I'd been skating for not even a year at this point, and I thought I was hot shit, and I could like maybe frontside and like do like a 360 off of like a speed bump over like recycle bins and stuff. Maybe I could 540. I doubt it though. And then when I heard that she was going to a roller rink, I thought that was lame. But then I was like, oh man, I'm gonna be like so sick there. Like I'll get the chicks, you know. I was probably in like 8th grade or something, and I remember showing up to that roller rink, and there was like 50 rollerbladers there, and they would wax up like the rug. There was like a little like step thing. They'd wax the shit out of the rug. They were all fucking so good, okay? And there was one tiny little motherfucker there that was incredible, and he was like doing like flatland bio 540s and like royales like for like 20 feet, and I couldn't even royale back then. I thought I royaled with my like left foot. Turns out I royaled with my right foot, and you know, it was just like, yeah. But that was Tim, and yeah, meeting him made me realize like I actually like got a lot better at skating after I met those guys, because I thought since I frontsided like this way, I thought all my grinds were that way. Like soul grinds were this way, royals are this way. And so I was terrible. Like because I was trying everything switch. I had no idea, you know. And when I met those guys, I realized like you can do things the other way. And like once I learned that, I was like, I remember like learning like every soul variation in like the same day. And like, yeah, it was like opening up Pandora's box. So, but yeah.
All in that rug?
What's that? No. Like this is like after I met them, yeah, on a rug. It was like the funny thing too, because like the flow of the rink was this way, but I frontsided this way, so I couldn't do anything.
Oh,
Being so
damn.
sad about that. I couldn't even show off my 6 skills, and I definitely didn't get the girl that night. I can guarantee that. There's way sicker dudes out there.
So from then on, you were like, you kind of knew where you were going to go with people and like the guys you're trying to hang around, like within skating, sort of.
Yeah, it was like you're talking like when I was a kid, like when I was 13 or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I can't even remember. I met somebody who was like friends with Tim in like my middle school, and then he introduced me to Tim, and then yeah, then we became friends, and then we were filming. You know, we started filming, making skate videos, or like we started making a skate video, and I just finished it like last year, which is pretty sick.
So that's the video when you started when you were about 13 or 14 years old.
It's probably 15. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Maybe 16. No, yeah, probably 15, 16. Yeah.
Nice. It's good that the wraparound to your early skate childhood is still relevant, very relevant today. Unreleased materials just come out. This is great. We're covering recent stuff.
That's fresh content.
It's been a long time coming.
Yeah. 20 years in the making. That was a weird video. That was weird because in order to make that, I had to like capture a lot of old hi8 tapes, and I just like listening to my voice and the way we behaved, and I was like alone with just like me and my dog while I was doing that, and like because yeah, everybody that I like lived with was like out of town, and it was like I thought I was going crazy. I think I went crazy actually, like going through all of this media, and I had to like I was texting Tim the whole time, and he was like kind of keeping me sane. Like I was just like, hey man, like I can't tell, like, were you just being nice to me all these years? Like, there's no way you actually liked me. You know what I mean? Like judging the way off the way I behaved back then and the shit that I would say. Man, it was so embarrassing. But
any gems that were uncovered from those that footage capture? Like any like little stories that you got from that?
I have one.
Cool.
It was the realization that we don't remember anything as like human beings. And I think a lot of why we as like skaters, whereas filming is like really part of our culture, like I think we have really good memories because we remember all of these things, but we it's shocking how much you forget, I guess. And I'll tell you why, because we would obsess over these tapes. Okay. And I hadn't watched any of this media like before last year. I hadn't watched any of it in like 20 years or something, or whatever. I don't know, like just an insanely long time, you know? And I would put these tapes in and I would know exactly what's coming up next. And it was burned into my brain, right? All of this stuff, like I just watched so many times that I knew exactly what was coming up next. And then I find this other tape and I start like looking at some of the media on there or some of the content on there. And I'm like, I have no idea. I was like, I don't remember any of this. This is weird, right? And it was cool. It was like I was watching like my life for the first time, like a part of my life for the first time or whatever. Like, oh, I wonder what happened next. Like, did I land this trick? I have no idea, you know, which is kind of interesting, you know. But here's what like really was really, really weird is that as like the footage goes on, like I see us like I know everywhere we're skating, we're like downtown, we're making progress, and we end up at this 20 set in downtown Rochester in this footage from when we were in high school, right? And I'm looking at this 20 set and I'm like, whoa, we went to this spot like when we were in high school? No fucking way. Like, I can't believe that. And the reason it was so weird is because in like a few years after that, we made like our first DVD and Tim tries jumping this 20 set in that video. And this would have been like 2004 or 2005 or something. And he's trying, or no. This is in our second DVD actually. Yeah, so this would have been like 2005. Yeah, easy 2005, you know? And he's jumping it over and over and over. And it's like a super steep 20 set, insanely high impact. Like it's probably like, it had to be like 12 feet high or something, this jump, and he's jumping it too, right? So he's so high up in the air, it's insane.
Yeah.
And and yeah, he ended up like landing it like really shitty in like 2005. But anyway, like back to the footage, I'm watching the footage and I'm like, whoa, we looked at that spot in like 99 or 2000. Like, that's crazy. Like, whatever it is. And then I see Tim like walking up the stairs and like looking at it. And I'm going, huh, he's looking at it in 2000. That's crazy. Didn't land it in 2000 until he didn't try it until 2005 or didn't land it until 2005. And then like the scene cuts and then the next cut, it's like a long lens shot. And I just see him fucking way down and he's like skating towards the camera. I'm like facing the 20 set. And I see him and I'm going, what the hell's he doing? He's skating really fast towards this thing. And then he jumped. And I'm watching by myself and I'm going, whoa, you jumped it? He jumped that into, and I'm like, that memory should be in my head. Completely gone. And I ended up figuring out why, and I'll explain in a second. But yeah, he ended up trying it like 4 times, okay? And on this footage, and I'm watching it as if it's the first time I had ever seen it, you know? And I start texting Tim. I'm like, dude, or I took like a video of the screen. I'm like, dude, look at what I'm watching right now. Like, do you remember this? And he's like, what the fuck? No, I don't remember that at all. He's like, wait, I tried that before the time that I landed it? Like, and we neither of us had any recollection of that.
It's
Was it
crazy
just
that
you
didn't
two?
do it.
Huh?
Was it just you two there?
There's other people there.
Does anyone else remember it?
I don't know. I didn't ask, but I'll tell you why though. I'll tell you why it's erased from our brain, and this is why it goes back to what I was saying originally. The and I can remember this now. Like it kind of started coming back to me, right? That was
Like a
right
black-
before we got a mini DV camera, and that
Oh.
tape, we didn't obsess over that tape. We didn't like end up digitizing any of that footage. We didn't put that into any edit or anything like that. We moved over to DV because that was all on high 8. We moved over to DV, and since we didn't like commit that to memory and like watch it over and over or put it in an edit that we'd watched 1,000 times, whatever it is, that memory was gone, like completely gone. And so it's like all of these things that I think I remember like from I'm just probably remembering the footage, honestly. It's just crazy. And I think it same goes for probably a lot of us. There's got to be a lot of memories out there that if you that you might be surprised.
It's do people ever try and talk to you about clips that you filmed and then you're like that you filmed of other people and it's kind of hard to get what they're talking about?
That I've filmed of other people.
Yeah, I feel like you must have filmed so many clips of other people. You think that happens too? It's just like
No, because I obsess over everything I film, so I'll remember every detail of it because of that. Yeah, probably. I think.
what was your first video when you moved from, or actually, did you make any videos when you were in South Carolina?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would make like these travel. We would like go places, and I would make like a video out of the trip. So it's like it's not like a video in the traditional sense, but it's like it'd be like a full video. It'd be like sometimes they'd be like 20 minutes long or 15 minutes long or something.
Are these buddy tour videos?
Yeah,
No.
that's what I was gonna ask.
Oh, they're
No.
different than that.
Yeah, Michael Kraft makes those. I could not make a buddy tour video. I'm not smart enough to make a buddy tour video. Those are too above my head.
Ian's done one as well, right? Or it's always Michael?
Keane will do like when he like shoots with like a VX 2000, it'll be like a buddy VX.
How's that? Can you elaborate on like how the buddy tour got formed?
Yeah.
No, I can't. I don't know. I'm you're gonna have to ask one of those guys. I don't know. I just joined it. I was allowed on the buddy tour. It has something to do with Michael and Ian, and I think it has something to do with Michael, maybe like a girl that he was in love with, probably because it's Michael, and they were on their way to her, and there was something embarrassing that happened. I don't know the details. There's something along these lines, but they made like a trip out of it. But that could be wrong too. Like, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know the details. All I know is I joined at like 6 or something. So they had a long history before I ever got involved.
We'll get in contact with the higher ups at the buddy tour
Inc.
team management.
Friend Killer Incorporated.
Yeah, shout outs to Friend Killer Incorporated.
Yeah.
Make good things.
Yeah, I wish I had a better answer, but I don't. I do not know.
No, that's fair enough. We just weren't sure who to ask. Now we know we're a little more narrowed down. We can find out the juicy details of that crew from the higher ups.
Yeah, Michael would be a funny one. He would be a funny one to interview. He's great.
Yeah, I mean that the bean skate that flooded the internet for a good week.
That went viral.
Yeah. I don't know how well that would have worked. Would you try that?
What's that?
Would you try a beam liner? They're heat moldable.
I hear they heat up very well. I hear they're better when they're heated, actually.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
I'd never skate this cold.
Yeah.
Put them in the pan for a while, saute them.
Just get them a little heat.
So when you came to New York, how did you start making nights and weekends? You made that with Agusto, right?
Yeah.
Was that your first video in New York, or were you guys working together on like smaller stuff before that? Because I know Goose was dropping some stuff here and there, and
We made a video called One for the Road first. Or I made a video called One for the Road. And that was not a very good video, but it was like a lot of like, let me know if the fan on my computer makes my sound fucked up. Maybe we might have to go to headphones if it's, because I can hear it like getting loud. Anyway, I had like a lot of, with Nights, with One for the Road, I had a lot of like projects that were all unrelated, and I just had so many that I realized that if I were to just put them into a video, it would be a full video. And so I just did that, and it's not bad, but it's not like that good, you know? And it didn't really make sense.
It wasn't as cohesive as you would have liked it to be.
What's that?
It wasn't as cohesive as you would have liked it to be.
Yeah, it's like completely like, it was like 6 unrelated projects in the same video. I just kind of had nothing. It was just nothing to it. But I think for what it was like a pretty good video. And I realized like, well, if I was actually just shooting for a video, we were like fired up. We had a pretty good premiere, and like, so we were all like pretty fired up. Like once we premiered it, it was like April of like I guess it would have been 2017, and like, so we're all about it. Like,
and when you say we, you mean like the Bodega Boys, like that whole crew, right? Okay.
Yeah, three days. I think we called ourselves the Boca Boys then, because we just did a stint in Barcelona. We were eating a lot of bocadillos.
Okay.
But yeah, like so we're all like juiced to like actually film for video, and Goose was like filming for, I think maybe his like own thing or something. I'm not really sure, but yeah, we like, Goose and I definitely worked on nights and weekends together, and like, yeah, he's an amazing filmer. And then I was able to
shout out Goose.
Yeah, he's like the only person I trust to film with, which is great. Yeah, it's something really special when you have a filmer that you can rely on and you don't have to like worry about them. There's already enough to worry about, especially in New York. So if you can just take one less thing out of the equation to have to worry about, you're probably gonna like get to focus on your trick a little bit better, maybe do it faster, maybe do it better. Yeah, and just like be less stress overall. So it's like so important, right? You guys know.
yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are skaters.
And I know filming with Goose is amazing. So that is a pleasure. So you're lucky to have him around.
Yeah. When he comes around.
I know he's a busy boy.
Goose.
You gotta look at gems and shit.
Yeah. He's hard to pin down, but once you got him, he's great.
Yeah, it's okay. As a bodega boy, do you have a go-to bodega like snack drink combo?
Yeah. I've been just before here, I went to my local bodega and I got a beer, a Juice Bomb IPA.
Nice.
From a brewery upstate.
What brewery?
It's called
Shout them out.
Sloop Brewing. What up? Thanks for getting me through the pandemic. Let's go.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, maybe some ice cream. I don't get healthy things at the bodega. Yeah, I get like Ben and Jerry's. And I get beer, maybe some rice and beans. But they're my bodega's right here on the corner. Like, just go down, across the street, grab it, come back.
What part of the city is that corner on?
I live on the Bed Stuy Clinton Hill border in Brooklyn.
Cool.
Pretty cool area. Yeah, good neighborhood. Bounced around a little bit. I was in Bushwick a bit. I was in Manhattan a bit. I like this area. It's chill. Yeah.
Do you do most of your like filming for your parts around there? Or do you go? Seems like there's so much there. You could basically spend your whole life there just trying to find more.
Yeah, I'm pretty obsessive with spots, so I'll bounce around. I'll bounce around a lot, you know.
What do you mean by obsessive?
Hunting and cataloging.
Okay.
And
I was
mostly
curious, like, what you meant by fucking
anybody that
obsessive.
like, knows me knows what I'm talking about. But like, yeah, I use like location scouting apps, and that will like use like your like the geotag information on the photos. It'll like you can mark a location of a spot based off of the photo that you take if you find it. I have like hundreds and hundreds of spots like marked in this app, but then I also like cross-referenced it with Google Maps because like I don't know. Sometimes like when I'm like bored, I'll just like pick a little section of the city and I'll just like go and on anything that looks like it has like any kind of potential whatsoever, I'll just like lay a star down with like a really vague description, like, you know, check out this rail, maybe a handicap, are these ledges, you know, cool platform, whatever it is, you know, and like and all like, and it's not just things that I would want to scale, like, you know, insane double kink rail, like in case somebody who does that sort of stuff wants to come to town and
Somebody's fixing to do it.
yeah, go for it, have fun, you know. But I'll like mark everything, and then, you know, maybe I'll be in the area and I'll like ride a bike or drive or something, and I'll just go up and down and confirm whether they're actually spots or not. And then if they are, I'll like add them to my map, or to my location scouting app. And then when somebody comes to town to film, it takes a lot of the guessing out of the equation. I'll have it all mapped out, like where we're gonna go, and like at least like some key destinations, and then we can kind of play it by ear in between. You know what I mean?
Because you have it all written out in the map already.
Yeah. So I'll like choose a neighborhood, and I'll run by like, you know, 15 spots by whoever it is I'm filming with, and I'll just have them like give me the thumbs up or the thumbs down and like the text. You know what I mean? Like, I like this, I don't like this, I don't like this, maybe this, I don't, you know what I mean? And then I'll just like make a map with that, like for like a day, you know what I mean? Okay, we're gonna hit all of these, and then there's some potential where we can like find weird stuff along the way, and which is like where the good stuff happens, you know? It's not necessarily at the spots, it's like all the in-between stuff, you know? But it's good to have the destinations, or else you're just going to be like driving around aimlessly and, oh, that's not a spot, or, you know what I mean? Like, should we stop here? Should we pull over? Should we find parking? Or should we, you know, yeah, I don't know. Yeah. So it's good to have like at least something to aim for, and then like freestyle it along the way. That's typically the flow, how we get done what we get done.
It's a cool. Oh, I had to ride the mic. I got a noisy city in back of me.
Oh, sure.
I was just gonna say it's cool to hear your methodology, and it's a good segue, like for people that you've worked with in the past, like specifically like Keane and Broscow, you've worked with twice now. They're coming solo to the city for these projects to work with you. So are you like kind of doing this the week before, like planning out your days and like areas of the city? A little bit here and there?
At least the week before, yeah.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. It's a big city.
I mean, like I wish I was better at that, or I could say I did that for when people come to the city, but I'm kind of on your tip where I'm just kind of bringing everyone and be like, oh, should we go look at this? I don't know what you want to do.
There's a quality to that though too. Like, you know, it's maybe a little bit more authentic to do it that way, where you're just kind of doing it in flow. I think when I film with Leon, we don't do that. We just meet up at some location and then we just go and like play it by ear. Whatever happens, and ends up being good.
I mean, what you do with Leon is a little bit different than what you do with Keane, or like what you do with Broscow. Like,
I would say very different, but yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah, because like Leon is such flow state.
Bodega.
Ooh, it's a nice color you got there.
Yeah. Sorry, I interrupted. Go on.
No, you're good. Yeah, it's definitely different. So like planning out spots is like, the spots are so much more important for what Sean or Alex does versus what Leon is doing. Like,
Sure. Yeah.
so picking it out early is definitely a good move. I did a bad job with that last week.
With what? With Keane?
All the boys came down from SF, and I did not have the right spots picked out. It's
Were you
okay.
filming, Taylor?
Yeah, I was down there filming a little bit. It
Tell me
was
about it. Dish out the dirt. Let's hear it.
oh well, Joey suggested this school. What was it? UCI.
Yeah, just UCI, just because it was going to
Classic
be
spot.
easy. Yeah, classic.
Some people made the comment, I don't want to go there for the rest of my life. So we didn't end up going there.
We did go to a sick school, so it ended up being better. So it is fun, but
That like jump on the ledge to like the extended ledge or whatever. It's classic.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's cool. Okay.
yeah,
That's so good. That's like old school me. I'd just go there and go through the motions, all the tricks I know how to do, and that would be it. Then I'd just take my skates off and leave if I were there right now.
yeah. I picture you doing the old 180 on to the like illusion back, like so perfect.
Yeah. How many times do you think that's been done on that spot?
An impossible amount of times.
Everyone who goes there has done that.
It's asking for it. It's so fun.
Yeah.
You can't do that trick without like a nice smile on your face.
Yeah.
Oh, it feels good.
Do that.
You got any favorites of people you work with?
Favorites?
Yeah.
Agusto.
Gusto?
Yeah, he's great.
Best shoulders.
What's that?
He has the best shoulders in the game. Like he looks over
shake
best
them?
shoulders.
His ability to look over them. Yeah. He's a very talented skater.
Yeah, it's so smooth. Like neither looks awkward.
Mm-hmm.
Very fluid, both. It's great.
Who else would be a good person to film with? Ishiro. I've only filmed with him a little bit, but he's amazing. Like, holy fuck.
You got to was he on the AOS tour?
Yep. And then in London we filmed a bit, and that was really brief, but it was still like you can kind of get a sense of like how calculated he's a like calculated killer sort of thing. Like he already if he like is like I'm ready to film like that like he's like there's no guessing, you know what I mean? Like it's really he's very impressive. Like he's really crazy. I can't think of anybody that's quite like that I've ever filmed with, that it's like so calculated.
You'd say he's the most dialed?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Like maybe in skating, wouldn't you say? Like maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It's weird. I don't have enough experience with him to know that for sure. But like, man, like the few times that I filmed with him, I'm like, holy fucking shit! Like you weren't kidding. Like you are ready. Like you do have a trick. Yeah, you're okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you could see his clear ability to kind of do whatever he really wants to do, which is the most amazing thing. It's like watching a video game.
Yeah.
A couple times I've seen it in person. It seems pretty similar. It's like a video game.
Yeah. I think the hardest part for him is got to be deciding what to do. Like if you can do anything you want, like how do you decide what to do?
And he has great trick selection. A lot of people that can do whatever they want don't have good trick selection.
Oh,
they end up doing like the same like 450 Royale or whatever.
Yeah.
He picks like really like rude ones almost.
Very talented and very smart.
Yeah. Intelligent trick selection.
Yeah.
So when you did nights and weekends, you were skating RBs at the time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you were doing like work with Rollerblade at that time too, right? Or was all in the same kind of time? Were you doing the in motions at that point?
No.
No, was it nothing else?
What?
Were you doing anything with Rollerblade at that point, or you're just digging the solos?
No, I think they like sponsored the video because like half of us were skating rollerblade then, but that was about it. Yeah, I wasn't doing anything with them, but it was like the summer after that I started um, doing work with them. Yeah, for like some of the big wheel stuff, and they're doing some like 10K things here that Ray Mendez got me hooked up with them, and yeah, it was like kind of like a lot of things were happening at the same time that was going to result in me working with Rollerblade a bunch. So I got to like working on like a handful of pretty cool projects with them, which I've been really happy to do. They're a great company to work with. They're like corporate, like they're like a real company.
Yeah.
So and like it's been Tom's like awesome to work with, and now you're shooting with them for blank, and
Kind of the same story, right place at the right time. Like things are happening, so
yeah. So yeah, it's ride it out. Like they're an amazing. They have amazing potential with like just because of like type of company they are, and ride it out. It's good. It's good. Like they're good people,
yeah, Tom's is a really cool guy to work with and talk to.
Miles is awesome. Like, yeah.
How would you say it compares to like all the work you did with them skates and stuff? Does it feel just different? Like kind of like a different.
Yeah, it's different. Yeah. What's that?
In what sense are they different?
With them, it's like, it's not that I don't like believe in rollerblade, but it's like, it's different. Like with them, it's like coming from a place of belief or something. You know what I mean? Like this is a brand that I like just fuck with at my core sort of thing. You know what I mean? And it's like, and I'm not trying to say it's not that I don't fuck with rollerblade, but it's just different. Like we're talking about a brand that's existed from like 30 years. It'd be like, buying Apple stock after like, the iPhone X is already out versus like, designing the Apple II sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like if you're getting in at the ground floor level of something, like, or at least close to it, feels so much different, right? Like, not that I was like part of anything or even am officially part of anything now, but like, or at the very beginning, I mean, but like, it certainly does feel like I have like more like emotionally invested with one company than the other. Like, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's really exciting to see everything that is happening with this brand. And I can't think of a brand that's more deserving, or a person is more deserving, or all of these things. Yeah. It's like, this is it. Yeah, this is the one. So it's cool. It's like, feels special to be a part of it. Like even in the small way that I am. Yeah. Which is cool.
And were you so you mentioned you didn't start off like with them. When did you get in contact? Like so AOS was your first project with them skates, if I'm correct? Second?
Yeah. So seconds was Alex's first section with them. And that wasn't like part of the plan. I didn't know. When I had already bought him a ticket to come out to New York to film something, but I had no idea any of that was in the works at the time. So that all kind of like blindsided me, and it almost like derailed the project a bit. Like we had to do, we had to like do some fuckery to make that work, because he didn't have skates. He didn't even have skates. And, what's up?
He didn't have his skates, or
Alex didn't have them skates. He wasn't announced yet on the team, and the skates got delayed in China or something. And like, these are the samples, I guess, at the time. And
so they're just the medium, right? They're
John. This is when John just got the small. He just got the small shell, and John was skating it. And it was we were literally talking about like delaying the flights, this whole thing. Like we got to see if we can cancel these, and like, because I'm not gonna have skates, and I don't want to film anymore on the V13s, this whole thing. And I'm just like, at that time I was like so out of the politics of skating that I was like, this is fucking dumb, you know? Like I was annoyed. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I was like so annoyed. I was like, this is not why I wanted to film a section. I wanted to film a section of just like the most talented skater in the world in like the most aesthetically pleasing city in the world, and like marry these two ideas together. That's all I want to do. I don't care about what's on his feet, really. You know, at the time I didn't, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And but then when I realized like that could not happen without him getting the skates, you know, and like it was like, okay, well, do we delay the flights? What do we do? And it was like, well, John has the smalls, but like he's riding them or whatever it is. And then I was just like, hey man, this might be a pie in the sky fucking harebrained scheme of an idea, but what if John just sends you his skates, man? Like, why doesn't he just send you his skates? I think it's going to be in his best interest to give you those skates. Like take this, like have him mail you those skates. And like, yeah, it was not a bad idea. It was a good idea. And like John said, yeah, John was into it. John mailed him the skates. He got the skates like 2 days before he left to New York. I think he just like ripped him at the local skate park that he goes to in Seattle, and then flew out here, and then was basically getting used to his skate while he was filming that section.
So he did that zero heel roll in like
heel, yeah.
basically brand new skates, like skates he hadn't skated before.
Yeah, that were like probably a little too big for him. I think the small shells, his foot is like a little bit smaller than mine, and the small shell fits me perfect. So I bet the small shell is a little bit too big for him, and which is why I think when he had the opportunity to skate Intuition Liners, he like took it immediately, because like he was able to like pad it out a little bit better, I guess.
Yeah, it filled it out a little bit more.
Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty impressive that he did what he did in not enough time. I didn't give that enough days. Like I should have given that like a whole other week. I had no idea. I didn't know what it was like to like film a part like that with somebody who's skating at that level. Like I didn't know. I was like, oh, come up a week or something, right? Like, and he's like, oh, I might need a little more time than that. I was like, okay, cool. 10 days or 11 days. You know, like I really had no idea. Like I like, no man, we should have done like 3 weeks or like a month or something. Like honestly, like, but it worked out great. But it's only because he's so dedicated, you know, and is able to just.
And Seconds was your first project with Roscoe?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, like first, like full on, like I helped out like a couple things on some Vibrolux things, and yeah, like, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, maybe a little bit with the Dead video, because he stayed with me when they were filming in New York, and you know, but we didn't know each other terribly well then. So I think I like respect to him for like kind of taking that gamble a little bit, like a little, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know.
I remember listening to you spoke at a Winter Clash about this, and if I'm right, he just hit you up and said, I want to do this with you?
Other way around.
Or, okay, so you just contacted him and just wanted to do.
Yeah, I was like, I like know I have a lot of spots and I can keep up with you. So we should like work on something. Yeah.
Those are good answers. Like that's all you need to hear.
Yeah.
I feel like he's a hard guy to keep up with. So
yeah, he's
quick.
Yeah.
Well, you can go for a really long time, late into the night. It's the one thing I realized. I went street skating with him a couple of days, and I was like, damn, dude.
Yeah.
If we don't stop you, we need an intervention.
I'll just keep going, yeah.
Yeah. He definitely can.
Man.
And he's fully ready for it, man. It's incredible.
It's just like, dude, I'm fucking done, man. I'm sorry. I got nothing left, man. All right. It's like, makes me feel like an asshole. I'm like, I have this opportunity. I should just keep going. I mean, this guy's still, you know, but yeah, you can't burn yourself out. It's important to listen to your body. Listen, yeah. You don't want the morale to go down either, even from a filming side, or who knows, if maybe you do go to that one last spot and it's like 1:30, 2 in the morning, and it's like the reality is it's like all of our bodies are just completely depleted and gassed, and we haven't eaten dinner or whatever it is, and like maybe this little trick idea ends up becoming like, you know, enormously impossible trick idea just because of all the circumstances surrounding it. So and what is that going to end up costing you at the next day and the next day and the next day. So you got to like know when to call it. And I think that's pretty important because you'll just burn yourself out in a day if you don't. It's like going to Woodward and getting hurt on day one or something, you know. Like, don't do that.
Yeah, take it easy, ride all the ramps first.
You got
Mini ramp Monday, dude. There's a reason.
Yeah.
You keep it chill.
Fuck that. I get killed on mini ramps.
Do you? You keep it chill.
Yeah. I'm old, man. I touch my wrist down, I'm just shatter into a million pieces. So. Yeah.
So was it the same kind of format for when you made Binary with Keane? You just hit him up and you're like, let's do it.
Yeah. He posted some like Instagram thing. I think it was like, you ever see that one clip he posted from Woodward West and he like alley-oop Macchio'd around the corner of like a sub box and then like gapped and topsoiled the coping? That's like,
it's a sharp corner box, right?
Yeah.
That's a town park in Oakland.
Oh wait, I think he did something very similar too.
He could have done. He was doing it for a while at one point. Yeah. Those corner transition things.
I think I know which one you're talking about. He did it like around like an actual like U, not like a sharp corner, right?
Oh, okay. I might. You know what? I might be conflating these two things together. But yeah, it was something. There was just like, it was like the straw that broke the camel's back of like me seeing like these amazing tricks, and I was like, yeah, I think I hit him up and I was like, all right, that's it, motherfucker. We're working together. Like, that's it. Like, I can't take this anymore. When can you come out here? And he's like, oh man, I'm down. Like, that's easy. That was funny though. That took 2 trips to film. Like that was when I realized that like it kind of actually made me respect filming with Alex even more because like exactly what you said. He won't stop, you know, and then he'll beat himself up one day, and then we'll wake up and it's like, all right, you need a day? He's like, no, I'm good. It's like, how? I'm sore and I didn't even skate, you know? Yeah, like, yeah, but Keane he'd be just roasted. Like, we'd be skate all day, and like the next day, he's just like getting on a bed, like, oh man, I can't move, man. and I would try to like get him going. I was like, oh man, you just got to move around, and if you'd see somebody like, he just like couldn't even jump, and I'm like, oh okay, I have to like play this a lot different with him, and yeah, that was a learning process. I'll work with him again. Next time I work with him, I'll know, you know what I mean? I'll know how to like work him a little bit better. But
pace it a little bit better.
Yeah. He's just got to rehab. He's still working on that ankle. He's not quite there yet.
Who's like the wildest person you work with? Is anyone like overly wild, like at the spot or anything like that?
What's that mean?
I don't know. A lot of personality, maybe.
Rasco, maybe.
Let's go.
Kind of what I figured.
But he's got such like a close friend that it's hard. It's like I'm unfazed by it. Like he's the amount of time I've seen him foaming at the mouth, like jumping on a bench, trying to like break the fucking bench because he can't land a stupid trick. I've lost count, and yeah, I would count that as maybe one of the wilder things that I've had to witness and multiple times. I don't know if that's what you mean, but yeah, that's what comes to my mind.
We could leave it up to the viewers whether they consider that wild or not. Be like, no, I do that every time. That guy sounds normal to me.
Those are not people I want to meet. One in my life is enough.
Let's see what else I got on my docket. Oh, this is a neat fact, and that I don't know if a lot of people or if he's elaborated on this, but he's mentioned it. You taught Sean Kelso a good bit about how to film. He mentioned that on the Jump Street. No?
Editing.
Yeah.
Okay.
But he embellishes that truth. It's not like he was gonna be fine. I just showed him where like the buttons were. That's all. Like he was gonna.
That sounds like really, really humble. I would like you to like be a little bit less modest.
He would be nothing without me.
Perfect.
Yeah. No, like, this is in the days of like AIM, and so you used to be able to do or iChat, I guess. You used to be able to do like screen sharing, and so he would open.
What was your screen name, real quick? Do you remember your screen name?
Oh wait, it might have been Torres's God. Yeah.
Nice. That's
Very
fucking
humble.
sick.
Very humble. That was it. Yeah. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, I haven't thought about that in a while. Yeah, but we would screen share, and I would like drive his computer, and I would like kind of show him like, yeah, you're gonna like take this here. This is where the razor blade is. This is this. This is, like I would just show him like really, really simple techniques and little things with like how to export and compress and all these things. Like, yeah, just like really beginner stuff, you know, because he just didn't work. He didn't know like workflow, and he didn't know where the buttons were. And so I would just show him all this stuff. And then I remember the first edit he sent me that he made was like the Kelso brothers at Winter Clash edit, or maybe it was them, some edit with their skating Rye Airfield or something like that. And the like, level of like,
the presentation,
like, stylized, like detail, like beautiful aesthetic that he was already bringing to it was so professional at the time that I was just like, motherfucker, like you are gonna be the greatest like skate video filmmaker there is. Like you are it, and he is it, you know, and like, yeah, he is it, and he just needed somebody to show him where the buttons were, and it just happened to be me. That's all. So I don't mind that he like credits me with all this stuff, but he was gonna figure it out one way or another. I didn't have to be. He didn't need me. He's gonna be just fine. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But right place at the right time thing.
Okay,
all news to us.
Yeah, let's go.
It's just funny to think that he didn't know how to edit at one point, and then you were like, I showed him the buttons, and that was it. Because he does
how to edit though. That's the thing. Like it was there. The vision was there. That's the hardest part, right? You know, you ever like you guys both edit, right? And like you don't edit?
No.
Jerry doesn't really.
I thought you did.
I don't computer very well.
Would you say you don't computer very well? Yeah. Okay.
No.
He does these episodes off an iPhone.
Yeah. So anyway, but Taylor, you know, like you edit, and like when you know where all the buttons are, but if it's not working and like you don't have the idea, like conceptually, you're not editing anything that day. You know what I mean? And then that'll happen. For me personally, it happens with a lot of projects I'll work on where I can't do it. You know, I can't do it unless it's there. And I'm sure I have to assume you run into that. If the concept isn't there, if the idea isn't there, if it's not making sense, it doesn't matter how well you know the software. It's like the vision is what is really important. Sean had the vision right from the get-go. You know what I mean? And that's what's always so like, I think that's why his projects are always so powerful, because he has an amazing vision of skating. Like he understands skating probably better than skating and presentation, probably better than like anybody else in skating, I think, personally.
Yeah, the themes that he's able to pull across and then tie through most skate edits, Fish Guys and Spaceman, they're completely different, and he's ties them all together, and it feels like what it says it is. And that's
I think Galazzo was a work of art, like an absolute masterpiece work of art. Like it blew me away, and like I was fortunate enough to like watch. I had to like give him notes on it or whatever. Or I was fortunate enough to give him notes on it like right before it came out, and I was like, man, I had nothing but positivity. I think I maybe had one audio note that I think he actually did on purpose. It was like distorted audio. I was like, I actually think you meant to do that. So I don't even think that that's a good note. He's so smart with all these things that it's like, yeah, I'm going to make this skate audio blow out in this part because that's going to make it more effective. And it's like, yeah, you're right. That does make it. Yeah.
Is it one of the slow-mos?
Probably, yeah. I can't remember, but I just remember it being like one of the only notes I had was something really stupid like that. But that in my note, I was saying, but at the same time, I think you might have done that on purpose. So don't change it because it works.
I think I know what you're talking about, because technically it is a mistake, but it sounds cool because it's there like that. So it should stay there.
Leave it alone. Yeah. He's the shit. Sean's great.
So when you did like AOS and Contact, how much like did you have, like, what was your vision process for those two? Was it just like, because those have very different styles. It's like one feels like a Spain aesthetic and then one has a very London-esque aesthetic. Was that just because of the scenery, or?
Yeah, I think it's because one was shot in Spain and then the other one was shot in London.
Could be that. Did you have the colors done all by the same person?
Yeah, Edwin Rodriguez.
Oh, what of Eddie?
Yeah,
Good man.
yeah, he's a professional colorist, so he's a good person to hand off my projects to when I need them colored. I will continue to do this.
And do you do audio for your projects?
Not all of them. I would hand it off to another skater called Adrian Thorstensen, who's a professional audio engineer and like sound design mixer recorder guy, and he's the shit. He did AOS and he did nights and weekends. Yeah,
I think doing all that is one of the reasons, like, I know it sounds rudimentary when I say like one looks like Spain and one looks like London, but a lot of like what went into all the sound design and the coloring is like what really brings those across too. I don't think maybe everyone knows that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we made a decision with AOS, like that was the palette of AOS, and a lot of it was informed by Christian's photography. And we knew we were going to be coming out with a book along with AOS, so yeah, that was a decision for sure. Contact, yeah, it was different. It was just cold. I mean, we took all of our like cues with Contact from Volume. I don't know, you guys might be too young to know Volume, but it's an England video that came out in like '99, but maybe you've seen Volume. I don't know.
I'm familiar with Volume.
Yeah. So yeah, that whole video was kind of a shout out to Volume in a way. So yeah, I guess like the tone of the video was like very like yeah, Volume-esque, and that's kind of why we came out with like a rugby or like polo sort of thing, like for the shirt that would come out with it. I guess yeah, England probably released a rugby shirt back then, but yeah, it just kind of had that like England vibe to it. Yeah. So I don't know if that answers your question, but yeah, like there were like, those were decisions that were made. Yeah, I don't know if I can like go into too much detail that makes sense or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I poorly worded that question as far as like what influenced your decisions to make those give those certain feelings, and you working with Christian and everyone else, it seems like it's a group effort and kind of like you're all in the same headspace making the decisions.
Yeah, and like, you know, I think we all probably work with like a lot of like mixed media as far as like different cameras and formats and stuff like that, and like Seconds had a very like, yeah, I mean, we could even go back to Seconds as far as if we're talking about like these aesthetics. I think that's like a good trilogy of things to like reference, is like, yeah, Seconds. Well, I guess you could probably put the Powder thing in that same category. They're like very similar, I guess, but like Seconds, AOS, and then Contact is like, yeah, like New York, Barcelona, London, right? And like they all have very different feels, but they're all coming from a like, Seconds was like pulling from like Nickel and Dime, which is like a really old school New York City video, which is like why like the beginning is like quoting the well, it's like a Raekwon song, but it's from a movie. Oh my God, the name is blanking on me. I'm not gonna remember it right now, but yeah, it's like literally the intro of Nickel and Dime has the exact same quote that's in the beginning of like Seconds sort of thing. It's like, yeah, so and then like all the '90s like Hi8 footage, like all, you know, that was like that was a decision, and AOS was like, we're not doing that. We're gonna all of like mixed media that we're going to do is going to be film, because it's like there's something classic about the architecture of Barcelona. And well, it's not something classic about it. I mean, the architecture is fucking ancient, you know? So it's like, it doesn't make, I don't think like hi8 or any kind of like lo-fi video is really the aesthetic, like for any kind of like mixing the media. I think it's more of like, yeah, like shoot as much film as we can, and then mix that in with the video. And then, yeah, and then Contact was like kind of the same thing, but it was, yeah, because there was a lot of like, we chose to shoot film with that, but like it was a lot of, in volume, there was like a lot of like this weird like slow black and white sort of stuff. You'd see like John and like Josh Petty and Dustin Latimer like walking through like London, like just looking real dope, and they're just dripping in England swag, you know.
Fresh as hell.
Yeah. And so it was like, let's create like that kind of like that. It was really moody, like Volume's a really moody video. It was my favorite video growing up. Like it was kind of like right when I started noticing that skate videos like could look different than Video Groove, and and have like a tone to them and a mood and like a whatever. And I actually found out like maybe a couple weeks before we even left for that trip that John edited that video. I didn't even know that.
Oh, wild.
Yeah, like that was crazy. Like I thought that was Brian Smith that edited that video, and like I was surprised to hear that it was John. But yeah, that video is amazing. It's like really, there was a lot of like really, you should watch that video, because there's a lot of, but yeah, you should, but there's, yeah, it would probably be lost on you actually if you were to watch it now, like going in cold. But there was a lot of things at the time that were like very unique about like maybe like the way they did like some skate, like the audio was like really unique, like in it, like you'd hear really loud skate sounds, like Josh Petty's section like drowned out the music. It was like the Styles Beyond track, but like the audio was just so loud, like they have these slow motion, like Royale's is like down ledge or whatever. I don't even know what it is. Probably UC Irvine. I have no idea. but it's like he just Royals this down ledge, and it's like all in slow mo, and it's just like so loud, like the sound, the audio, and it's like gnarly like coral reef material. You know what I mean? It's just making like the grossest sound, but it's just, yeah, the fact that they chose to keep the sound so loud there was just very unique for the time. Like Brian Bell videos were like really hot back then, and like whenever he would slow motion things, there'd be no audio. So that was like the absolute contrast, and that was part of like what I was like kind of used to seeing, you know. And then Volume comes out, and it's just like and I was like, whoa. Like, and I don't know why that stuck out to me so much, but I mean, there was a number of things that stuck out pretty heavily in that video. But obviously the skating was amazing, but it just Dustin Latimer and stuff. But yeah, it was, yeah. But but when John asked me to shoot Contact, I was like, I already know what I'm doing with this video. Like I studied Volume. Like even though I know it like the back of my hand, I studied it like for like a couple weeks like leading up to it, and just like kind of wondering what if I can borrow any ideas from that video and kind of like reattribute them to something made, something a little bit more contemporary.
Do you feel like you were able to do that while you were there? You were like had some ideas that you were like,
a little bit, yeah, a little bit, yeah. It's like a heavy, like Volume's like pretty heavy. Yeah, it had like kind of like a heavy tone to it, and like maybe I like the heaviness. Honestly, probably like I think a lot of the heaviness that's in Contact, that because to me that video feels very heavy, but I think it was because I made it like in the height of like COVID, and I was like struggling. It was kind of what I was saying to you about like when you just can't edit, you know what I mean? Because like you just can't focus, and the idea is not there, the vision's not there, whatever it is. With like Contact, I kind of like had the vision, but I did not have, I like could not fucking edit. There's no way. Like we shot that in February, and I didn't have it done until like July, because it was just it was too heavy, right? Like the whole atmosphere of like the world was so heavy that I was like, the least important thing I could possibly be doing right now is editing a skate video. Like, how could I possibly focus on this right now, and like how could I possibly make something that is true to itself and not like I don't have this thought formulated right now, but yeah, just something I just knew it wasn't right. Like the timing was shit, you know, and like, but I kind of forced it out of myself, and maybe like one thing happened and another thing happened that kind of like inspired me, and I was able to like whip something together. Maybe it wasn't like my most favorite project, but like but I was happy enough with it. Yeah.
It's cool to hear how you base videos like Contact off Volume and then Seconds off Nickel and Dime, but it doesn't seem like you had anything for AOS. Was that just a blank slate for you going in?
Well, I mean, I mean, it was just I'd been to Barcelona before, so there was just I didn't have to reference an old video for that one. I had my own emotions going into it, and I had my own like ideas of like, I wasn't there was no reference to any old school videos or anything like that. It was just like ours, you know, this is our project. That's it. There's nothing to it. We knew what we wanted to make, and we made it.
Oh yeah, that definitely came out as a timeless piece.
Thanks.
How did you do all the music? Do you guys, was it like a licensing thing?
Fuck no.
No, you just
no.
Okay.
I don't have time for that shit. I know you mess with that. I remember us talking about that at the premiere.
Yeah.
And it's like that's the one rabbit hole I haven't gone down. All the conversations I have with Yvonne about it, it just sounds like such a headache. I really respect what Bina did with it by having what's his face in Philadelphia do Anthony do all the music, which I mean, and also motherfucking respect to that dude for making that soundtrack. Like scoring a skate video is amazing, and I've had like people ask me if I would ever be interested in like scoring a project like that. It would have to be the right project, and it'd have to be the right person. The answer is yes. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but
does anybody come to mind that you would want to score a video with?
I'll get back to you on that. I don't know. I haven't. That's a really good question. I'll have to think about that. I wish I had an answer. Can they be like famous?
Sure.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I'll think about that.
Yeah, you could be anybody, but yeah.
Yeah. I know.
The answer would be cool too, though.
There's a dude, Brian. I probably can't pronounce his last name. I think it's Kirkamillis or something. No, I think I'm fucking blowing it. I don't know his last name.
I know who you're talking about, I think.
Yeah.
Brian with White Ring.
Yeah. Like that would be, I want to do something with him because I was listening to his music and then we were on a buddy tour in Vermont. We were doing like the Vermont like Jan Welch thing the first year. It was like me, Ian, and Michael, and I didn't realize it. Yeah, like so Ian was like, "Oh, we're gonna stay with my buddy Brian. He used to skate back in the day, and he's just getting back into it, whatever." And then he was like, him and his girlfriend were talking about being on tour, and blah blah blah. And then they kind of like casually said the band name, and I was like, "Oh fuck!" And I was like, "Cool, yeah, that's cool. I gotta go pee," and I'm in the bathroom, I'm like frantically, I'm like, "That is the band!" Like, I was like, I knew I fucking listened to the. I was like, damn, I had to like double check. I was like, no, I had to be remembering the name wrong. Like, that's not who I think it is. Then I'm like, oh wait, yes it is. That's fucking crazy. Like, yeah, so that was weird. But yeah, that dude's rad as fuck. Music's like really, that would have to be the right tone because there's stuff really dark, you know.
Yeah.
But it's cool, and maybe they expand into other genres. I'm not totally sure, but he's like reached out and said like, yeah, let me know if you ever want to use anything, or if you ever want to. Yeah, and maybe he's reached out to you too. I think you've used a White Ring track in yours, right?
Yeah, I have used a White Ring track before.
Yeah, they're sick. He's sick too. He's
super cool guy.
Yeah, I love him. He's
sick skating style too.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like he's really sick. Like he's really sick at skating, and it's crazy. When I first met him, he was like just getting back into it. So you like barely sold, whatever it is. And I was like, yeah, it's cool. Yeah, it's cool. Like, you're fucking rad. You're not good at skating, but that's cool. Like, it doesn't have to be, you know. And then the next time I saw him was like almost a year later, or maybe I just saw him posting stuff on Instagram, and I was like, holy shit! Like, you're really good. Like, you're not like, you're not just like, oh, cool. Like, you got your legs back. That's cool. And it was like, no, he's like doing shit that I'm like inspired by, you know. And I'm like, oh my god, all right, let's go. Like, fuck yeah. So
Yeah.
that guy's really sick, and he makes cool music, and is a rad human. Yeah.
Yeah. Big shout out to
People
Brian.
like him. Need more people like him. Like, you know, like they're just like, like they like maybe took some time away from skating, got really good at something else, and then are going to bring that little bit of culture back into skating, you know. And we have a lot of those people right now that are kind of coming back to skating. That maybe they went really deep into art or music or photography or film, whatever it may be, and they're all just gonna like come back into skating and like theoretically and hopefully just like elevate, you know, like really build out this web of talented individuals, like wider and wider and wider and higher and higher and higher. Yeah, I think there's like good things with this whole like back to blade bullshit that's going on. Like, I think it's gonna be good. It's gonna be annoying. We're gonna have some bump. It's gonna be a rough road along the ride, but it's gonna be good in the end, I think.
We've talked about this before, but I keep mentioning like this first event, I don't know, like the first Blade Cup or super major event that everyone goes back to at once. I feel like we're not, like us that have been to the events before this happened, we're not going to be ready for like how much more it is now. Because even how much I see it on a regular basis is like mind-blowingly like increased.
Yeah. It's like when you like the band before they got cool.
Yeah.
Everybody's on it. You're like, you don't fucking like them, but you don't know this fucking album, you know? Get out of here.
What was their first EP, bitch?
Yeah.
Nah, I definitely see that happening. It should be sick though. It's gonna be weird to not know everybody. Like most of the time you show up to a Blade event and you're like,
yeah,
what's up? It's like a fucking high school reunion.
Yeah.
This time, like, we're gonna show up and be like, who the fuck are you, dude? Like,
yeah.
You didn't go to our school.
Yeah, right. Kill him. What's your guys' pee policy on this? Can I pee?
Go for it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go pee.
About me as I leave, or do you pause it?
No, we're just
gonna
roll
talk
through
shit.
it.
Yeah.
I'll put the fucking ear pod in and I'll hear shit.
Do it, man.
I'll talk shit back.
You can take us for a ride.
Yeah.
No, I'm not gonna do that. I'll
Relieve yourself.
No, you're good, dude. Just go.
Fair.
Do your thing.
You guys
Oh, yeah,
talk about yourselves.
I'm gonna go smoke a bowl real quick. Is that cool with you?
Of course. I'm gonna sit here.
Oh, I never spiel though. So you're gonna spiel
No,
us?
I'm gonna do it because we spiel on this show. I spiel.
Right.
Like, follow, and subscribe our podcast, The Wax Toaster. If you don't already, because we are bringing you this incredible interview with Mike Torres, and follows and stuff like that help us. Once again, strongest bladder in the room. I am definitely. Take a picture because I have the strongest bladder. What else should we talk to Mike about? I'm gonna ask him if he's doing anything now. Like making something. Be nice to know.
I'm back.
The great and powerful Mike Torres is back with us.
That reminded me of, did you guys listen to the Arlo mushroom blading podcast?
Yes.
When they all got up to pee, and then Todd was like, afterwards, he's like, I had the headphones in still and I could hear all of you peeing. And I started imagining all of your penises as you were peeing. And I just started laughing. And then he transitioned that into like basically getting Arlo to talk about his dick piercing and why he had to get it removed, and like here, like, which to me was like the most genius level of interviewing I had ever heard in any like skate podcast. Because like here you are like with this like iconic figure that like a lot of people would consider like, you know, one of the godfathers of like modern, right, or I don't know, modern is the right word, but like aggressive street skating, whatever you would call it. And you know, a lot of people would probably hold this guy in like high regard and ask him like these softball questions, and somehow he's gotten him to open up about his dick piercing and like some of the most intimate details of his life. Like, and I was like, yeah, you guys are the best. This is it. Like,
That's not his first dick inquiry in a mushroom blading or a mushroom blading podcast either.
Todd's or
Todd's. He's
oh yeah,
inquired about others.
He asked Danny about his cock.
oh yeah, oh yeah, he did. Yeah, he's not afraid to ask the hard questions.
How's your cock?
No pun intended.
How's your cock, man? Is this a tough question?
It's good. Yeah, it's useful.
On topic,
It's
how
different
tall are
than
you and what size skates do you wear?
What's that?
On topic, how tall are you and what size skates do you wear?
I'm 5'9". I just learned that recently. And
Congratulations.
what? Yeah. What did you ask? What was the other question?
What size skates do you wear?
Oh, small shell them. With the big small Danny beer liner. So whatever that is, like a 41.
Okay.
41.5 or something is like whatever that is, centimeter or whatever it is. Yeah. I had to learn that recently as well because I wasn't totally sure. And then I learned that like I've been skating the V2, like the V1s and V2, like size medium intuitions. And I have like 2 setups right now, which is just so dumb, but like I do. And but I put my beers have like the V2 liners in them right now, and I like put my foot in there. Like the beers were a little small on me at first, like the liner was, even though it's like my size, and or maybe it's like a half a centimeter, like a little too small for me or whatever. So I had to heat mold it and like pack it out a bit, and then it ended up fitting me like amazing. But at first, like my toes kind of like sat in there like this a little bit, and it was like, oh god, I don't know if I can skate like this. I'm gonna break a big toe or something. But it ended up packing out, and it was fine, which is like what Leon tries to get you to do. He's probably been trying to get me to do that for 6-7 years now or something, and I absolutely refuse. And but anyway, then I put my foot back in the V2, and I was swimming in it. And I've been skating these liners for fucking like just the medium intuition liner for like 6-7 years now or whatever it is. And it's 28.
Wait, so you were swimming in it after you molded it?
No. I realized I had always been swimming in it.
Oh.
These things that I thought were too small for me, suddenly that is my size. And now I go back to what I thought was my size, and I realize I'm just swimming in it.
Oh.
So all my old intuitions are like definitely too big for me.
Yeah, but do they make the V2 in that half size?
No,
they don't, right?
No.
It might be too small. Like, so like the extra small intuition fits my foot better, but it doesn't fill out my skate enough, so it like moves around. It's pretty interesting.
You gotta like pat it out with like.
Yeah, it has side to side movement, which is really awkward, like in the heel. Yeah, so
like Aeon things, right?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I don't know how. Yeah, a lot of people do that. They don't seem like they work that well in Aeons.
It works for me because my foot is a little bit too small for the Aeon, so it like packs out that extra room. The same thing that you were saying with Broscow.
Mm-hmm. Oh
yeah,
right. Yeah.
So like when I skate the second skin, my foot is like swimming around in there, but with a small intuition,
super thin.
Oh yeah, way too small in the toe box.
Yeah.
Oh. What frames are you skating?
Gear talk. What?
Yeah, I like the gear talk. What frames are you skating?
The It depends on which setup. On
What's your daily driver?
I either have on one. I have the large them frames, and then the other I have the large Kaiser Fluid 5 frame.
Nice.
Jury's still out on which one I like better.
You skating them both flat?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Hydrogen wheels.
58s?
60.
Damn. That
On
seems
both
crazy.
setups?
Uh-huh.
That fits on the them frame?
Mm-hmm.
No work.
Mm-mm.
Crazy.
Yeah, it works. Those are the only wheels. I know you guys probably have wheel sponsors, but fuck your sponsors.
I've heard those are the
Well,
best.
Those are
I
the only
skate undercover. They're poured in the same factory.
different urethane.
I'm just saying. Same shit.
Different urethane.
Same.
Your wheels suck, Joe. So
Nice.
do mine.
Throw that out. Throw that shit out. No, I'm just kidding. Undercover is a good wheel for sure. Like,
Yeah.
and I know that they're poured in the same place, but
Yeah.
I've tried a lot of wheels, and the hydrogens are like, I notice when I can like notice when I'm not on them. It's like very different. Give them a shot. Not you, but you. Give them a shot.
Are you working on anything now currently?
Yeah,
Want to talk about it at all or no?
we got a video coming out. Do you not know this or no? Do you know this or no?
No, I don't know. I figured you guys are probably working on some, but I don't really know.
I might know a couple of things.
Goose and I have a video coming out soon.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Very soon.
I've seen a couple of dailies.
What?
The weeklies. The weeklies.
No, they're the dailies.
The dailies, yeah.
Somebody's in trouble.
You know who it is too. I blew him up on the internet.
Motherfucker.
That's exciting though. You said soon.
It's done.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You heard it here first, everyone. On the wax toaster.
It's not done, and it's got there's obviously some work. I still have to send it to Edwin. We got to do some graphic work, sound work,
Nice.
maybe a couple tweaks. It's not exactly locked, but it's pretty locked.
Are we paying for this viewing or you're just letting it rip?
Yeah, we're letting her rip.
Fuck yeah. For the people.
Who needs money? What is money?
It's a good point.
Joe Biden's handing us checks, dude. That's all I need.
Government sponsored rollerbladers. Let's go.
No, we all have jobs. We don't. What are we gonna do with that $1,000 or whatever it is it generates? You know what I mean? It's stupid.
Did you guys sell nights and
You guys want to do VODs, but I'm just saying.
you guys sold nights and weekends though, right? At first? Yeah. This is just like you guys are sorry, say what?
I didn't have a job. I needed the money.
Yeah.
Fair.
I've done that.
Yeah. But also it's like there's something about like I don't know. It's like there's like an exclusivity to it as well, right? You can only see it if you really want to see it. Like, you know what I mean? So a lot of the times I would I think one for the road.
Which pay what you want, right?
Pay what you want.
Yeah.
And I might have been one of the first videos to do that, but I might not have been actually. I don't know. I can't remember.
like that format.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Because anybody can see it, and there's still the barrier to entry because it's like if you really want to see it, you gotta know to go there, and you gotta like download. You know what I mean? Like you gotta want to see it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't have to spend money. All you have to do is just want it enough to just click one extra button. You know what I mean? That's it.
On
that's
your laptop.
That's enough. That's enough for a lot of people to not want to do it. You know.
Mhm.
I did that with nights and weekends too. And I think like with nights and weekends, I did like I think I like rewarded the early adopters by raising the price after like 2 months. Like it started off as free, and then after like a month, it went up to $5. And I like marketed it as like a set that it was on sale for $5 now. But it's more like if you fucked with us in the beginning, you got to watch it for free if you wanted to. But now you have to pay $5. And then I just left it at $5 until like what's it called? Selfie like kicked me off for not paying.
I like that format the best, I think. That's
Yeah, that's
probably the
kinda
sickest
sick.
format.
Reward your early adopters. That's like if you're gonna do a VOD, reward your early adopters. Yeah, for sure.
Free
It's like
for like
so
24 hours.
yeah.
And then
What's that?
free for like 24 hours and then just make the
Yeah,
motherfucker
I mean,
pay.
there's like there's a few examples of that. Tate did it with they did it at Winter Clash, and if you had the QR code, you could watch their video before it was out. And they did, or it was something like that, or no, maybe that was Tate too. But the year before that, it was like for 24 hours. They streamed it on YouTube for 20.
It was streaming live, like
yeah,
on a
and
loop,
then it
right?
was VOD after something like that. Yeah, it's like these are all really, really fun ideas for how to like engage people into a project and then not like subscribe to this idea that you're like your video is like getting stale and so I have to mark the price down to 50 cents or something, you know what I mean? It's like fuck that, you know. like it's just like having like confidence in your project and knowing that it has like some shelf life to it. Make something that has shelf life. That's the moral of the story.
That should be everyone's goal.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else you think skating needs or that you'd like to impart on the skating community?
What does skating need? I think probably the same thing that everybody else says, maybe like more personalities. I think we're getting there. Confidence in itself. I think we're getting there. Culture. We're getting there. We have some history, so we're like getting there. You know what I mean? It's like all of these things are like we're on the path. We're good. Don't listen to the Back to Bladers. They don't know what the fuck they're talking about. Love you, Back to Bladers. Keep Back to Blading, but you don't know what you're talking about. It's cool. You can keep talking, but you don't know what you're talking about.
It's a good
cool.
point.
Yeah. We're on the path. Like we're good. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Anybody like ripping Danny Beers at it? Invalid opinion. Like 100%. Like because they just don't know. You don't know. Yeah, it's different, but they just don't know. You know, anybody ripping like what Sean does, they just don't know.
People make fun. Sean, which Sean?
Kelso. Like, yeah, if they think that that I think that it's probably like a lot of the tip tap bullshit or whatever that people want to say or whatever, because it's like smaller stuff, but in like quicker movements. But the reality is that they don't even understand what they're doing.
And those people that say those things, it's like you look at them and it's like you have nothing.
Yeah.
Joey, whoever runs the mushroom blading Instagram did it perfect. Like they definitely have that profile picture of that like in the front seat of a truck. Like
yeah, they nailed it. Joey's a genius. Joey's a genius. He always knows the exact right thing to say, or he always has the exact like point of view to like perfectly sum up a situation that is happening in skating. Like they always have the correct perspective. Those guys are genius.
Have you ever had a chance to skate with those guys?
One time, yeah. In well, I guess it wasn't Vancouver, but somewhere in BC. We were all on Wizards. It was fun. It was fun watching their process too. Joey and Todd, like watching like how they film. They just film everything, and they're like instantly like passing the camera back and forth, almost like making it up on the fly, but maybe not. Like no, it wasn't making it up on the fly for sure. It was like it was very calculated. That's genius too. Like the dynamic that those two have is really brilliant. It's so unique. I don't think there's a lot of people that have that.
Is it as fast as that? Like where one films a trick and then he just passes the other guy the camera and then it's like, all right, now you start your turn.
I wish I could remember. I wish I could remember. I remember that they didn't try things that many times. Like they would like whatever they like rolled away with was like that was it. There was no like, oh my arm did this. Like it was none of that. It was like instantly like, okay, like on to the next, and then like the other might swerve around and try something, and then like within like a few swerve arounds and try some things, like the camera was out and they were going, and it was like, well, that's incredible. Like
So it's like,
yeah, I'll overdo an idea until it's not even fun anymore, and then that's when the camera comes out. And I just wish I could have like just a little bit more of that like freedom that they have with their filming. There's a lot of people. Juice is like that. I don't know if you've ever filmed with Juice before.
Yeah,
but,
he's very open.
He's like he'll like see you just playing with an idea, and he's like, "Yo, let's go, let's get that, go!" And then next thing you know, you have like a camera up your ass, like ready. It's just like, all right, I was just fucking around. You're okay, let's go. Like yes, that was. You like land it, and like you're like, oh, I didn't really. But before like you could even say I didn't like that, he's like, that was sick. On to the next. And I was like, dude, you are fucking awesome. I love filming with that guy, dude. He's like, his energy is amazing. Like, yeah, that guy's sick.
Yeah, Juice is a great guy.
Yeah, that's the personality I'm talking about. Like, not that he ever. I don't think he ever like walked away from skating at any point. But as somebody who has like his interest in like other places, and he's like bringing that culture back into skating and like just becoming like this very cool entity in skating. I just love. I love everything he's doing. I might not understand any of it. I'm like too old to understand it, but I just keep doing it. Keep doing it. It's fucking sick.
I think you're too old to, what don't you understand that he's doing? Like not the skating. It doesn't sound like you're talking about.
No, yeah, it's like
it's like
it was like
lifestyle.
in the early, yeah, it was like in the early things. He would get these clips and he'd be like skating up and he would have like a really swagged out watch on and he would just like look at the watch real quick and then like go do the trick sort of thing. And it's like I remember watching that being like, I love that and I don't know why. Like, oh, that's incredible. Like
he's done some phone answers too. I think he's been
probably exactly. I love it. It's just like the height of like casual skating, and I maybe at the time I didn't quite get it, but I was like, I knew that there was something there. I was like, this is, I love this, like keep it coming.
That personality does bring a lot, like the Air Dolphin style. I'm a big fan of his whole jazzercising of our activity.
Absolutely, yeah. But like these are the sort of things that like the back to bladers are. I don't mean to like shit on back to bladers, but like, or even the people who have been skating forever, but their profile picture is them in their truck with a goatee and sunglasses and a hat and a serious look. Like they're just like, oh, this is what's ruining skating, or this is what it's like. Skating was ruined long before Air Dolphin, man.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean,
how do you feel about Hood Panda sketching naked on the highway?
Unfamiliar.
Better off. Yeah. There's that didn't work out too well. That guy.
I think he did fine.
Shaved off on the highway or something, did he?
No, he just went naked down the highway.
That didn't work out too well for him.
I mean, I read a lot of the negative reviews, and I don't think people were too hyped on that. But who knows? He's probably fine. He seems like a personality.
I got enough to worry about in my life. I don't need to. It's just not.
You don't want to watch grown men skate naked down highways?
If that's what they're into, that's cool. Like,
okay.
It might be illegal. I don't know. On multiple levels, I think you're supposed to be on highways with rollerblades, and certainly not to be supposed to be it's public indecency. Told you I'm old. What about the kids?
What about the kids?
Yeah, it's probably not the best look. That guy, what that guy does is a little weird.
Yeah, I'm not too familiar with that guy. I know he exists.
So we've been talking to you for over an hour and a half now.
How long do you go?
I think go as long as As long as we got stuff, is there anything else you think we should cover that we
I
missed?
have a tech question real quick. Are you skating the 6 wheels yet?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. What do you think?
What do I think?
And where's the how's the rocker ring? Wait, you want to play with him? Can I see him
real quick? How's the rocker ring? Do you skate Wizards ever, Joey, or no?
I have a set, but I don't have Sebas to put them on, and like carbons just don't work at all.
Oh yeah.
So are the middle two like wheel 3 and 4?
Your lowest.
Oh, okay.
And then this is tall.
Oh no shit.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
So wheel 4 and 5 are even?
I don't know.
Are they flush or you don't know?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's proprietary information I can't share.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. I don't know.
But the pivot point is like slightly behind the arch of your foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. That's really cool. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's interesting. Like,
and I'm sorry, what size wheels are on there?
Street Invaders 72.
No, what 72? Okay.
Yeah. I don't know that they're the answer quite yet, but we're still playing with them and experimenting. And Joey's experimenting, and Leon is. I don't know if experimenting is the right word, because what he's been sending us has been pretty fucking mind-blowing. Like, it's beyond experimentation at this point. He is fully getting it on these things. So I have a lot more work to do on them. I have trouble dividing my time. I'll go like heavy into Wizard, and then I'll go heavy into aggressive, and then I'll go heavy into Wizard. I need to be better about dividing my time with the Wizard. Yeah. Yeah, it's just about making the time. That's all. It has nothing to do with anything. It's just make the time for it. There's like no excuse. And it only makes you a better skater. And it only opens up more ideas when you like go back to aggressive skating, which I've seen like a lot in your skating, Joey. And even though like, yeah, maybe you don't play with Wizards specifically, but maybe you were big wheeling or just even just watching the videos, and it very clearly like influenced your skating. Like,
yeah.
And for maybe in the early stages, it wasn't like quite translating right. Like when you were skating shadows, maybe not. But like on Aeons, like a little bit more like supportive and responsive of a boot. Like it's very, and also just like years, you're like getting good at it now. And like it's like, instead of doing it for like affect, you're doing it for like function, you know?
Yeah.
And, like, see some of your turns, and it's like that wouldn't have been as effective as it was if you didn't have like years of like mastering that skill set, you know, with just little things about like gazelling into like to like redirect your speed and energy and stuff like that. And yeah, these are things that the back to bladers just don't understand, and that's okay. That's okay, but it doesn't make it wrong.
Yeah, it what I found like going to Wizard School really did for me was like pull you back to being a beginner skater again. And that part is so sick. Like, I don't know, just being taught how to roll straight.
Yeah.
After skating for 20 years is kind of amazing. I don't know. Yeah.
Aggressive skaters with their like short frames, and I'm not like knocking short frames, but like classically short frames, like fun, hilariously short frames. You know, you see the videos, like a large boot with a small frame, and there's so many skaters that like don't even realize that that's a problem. You know what I mean? But I think we're like inherently very like tit heavy, like in our shoulders are like this, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And like, you know, like, and I think that's kind of like the beauty of like the longer Wizard frame is that it kind of like allows you to like just kind of like lean back a bit and like really take, when you're cruising streets, you're doing it in a way that's like unreal. Like it just feels amazing. It feels like you're skiing or something, you know, like it, like And I don't mean that in the like I have these long things that are unwieldy or like it's in this like I can just it's so minimal. All
I,
this effort is so minimal because of where my weight is and how it's distributed and like how it's making contact with the earth. And it's like, and then you bring that back to aggressive and like your stride is so good. Like minimal effort to get to the next ledge, minimal effort to get from one thing to another. You know what I mean? It's like, and like that's not only is going to look better, more like effortless and elegant. You know what I mean? Like in that versus like these duck walking to your down rail or whatever. Fuck that.
Elegant is a great word to use for what the wizard skating does to your aggressive skating. It like creates this elegance, this beauty.
I like that the world's catching on though. Like it's catching on. It took a while, but like everybody's catching on and realizing that there's something there. Like it's really powerful. Yeah. I'm really happy that like it like woke something up in me like a long time ago for whatever reason. I don't know what it was, but like I like latched onto it immediately. I don't know what it was, but I latched onto it immediately. And really glad that I did because I think my skating was probably going in a really stupid direction for a while until I kind of like started to like focus on just what you're saying, like how to roll forward and like where my weight is supposed to be and where my weight hasn't been for the last at the time 15 years or whatever. I think a lot of people don't know this stuff, and I'm not knocking other people's talent because I think there's a lot of amazingly talented skaters out there that just don't pay attention to this sort of thing, and you see it in their skating. It could be so much better when you make fun of somebody who's like really good at skating. You just don't like their skating.
yes.
They're so good, right? You wouldn't
Incredibly
be making fun of their
talented.
skating if they were bad at skating. It's like a compliment. You know what I mean? If you don't like somebody skating and you're shit talking it, that probably means they're really good at skating. And what you're making fun of is the potential that they have, and that they're not tapping into. You could be fucking good, but instead you're this, and for that, I'm going to shit on you.
I can't believe I've never heard anyone say that to me like that. That's the perfect way to explain why what may sound very mean about someone else's skating.
It's because you could be good. You could be great.
Yeah. It's generally with like really athletic skaters too. Like,
it's like, because I know they're way better than I am. If I'm
exactly.
There's something to that in every culture too, where or every man, I wish I had a really good example right now, but I don't. But like, I wish I knew music better because I know there's got to be a really good example within music. But I'm gonna just say something, and music people can like tell me how wrong I am. But like, maybe somebody who has like perfect pitch and like taught themselves guitar versus somebody who like can read music and like taught themselves like in a classical sense, right? Mm-hmm. And where it was like the person who like taught themselves guitar like might have like a really cool raw energy, and it's like they're playing the thing, they're playing it, but the way they're getting from one note to the other, maybe it's like a little sloppy. Again, I don't know about music. I don't know if you guys play music, but maybe you can like make sense of what I'm saying right now, but like versus somebody who understands like how to transition between one note or one fret, or I don't even know what words to say. I know nothing about music. I'm sorry, but like, but do you understand like the analogy that I'm trying to say? It's like you guys are playing the same song.
Just like you said, you can go from point A to point B when you're playing the song, and it can be sloppier. You can go from the top of the rail to the bottom of the rail, and one guy could do it a lot better looking than the other. They both did the same grind. Yeah. But one guy really knew how to get from there to there and make it look right and sound good. I think it's a good analogy.
Yeah, I wish I'll refine that a bit because I just don't know the words I'm just kind of making it up as on the fly right now, but I don't know enough about music to like. But I think but there's probably the same. It's like imagine like just like in fighting or something, as somebody who's like classically trained in like Taekwondo versus like a street fighter, right? the goal is to kick someone's ass, but like one person did it with like minimal effort and zero contact to themselves, and the other person like had to like choke somebody to death, you know. Like very the same result, but like very different approaches. Like one might be very aesthetically pleasing to watch, and the other one might be gruesome to watch, you know. And I feel that way about people skating as well.
Very
and that's
true,
not to say someone doesn't want to see someone get choked out. Like people are into getting
very popular for a reason. He didn't know shit, and like people watched him. Yeah, people want to see burly, tough skaters, and that's cool too. That's cool too. As long as those skaters don't like shit talk what Danny's doing or what Leon's doing.
I mean, and like we said, all these shit talk, like all that shit talk that you see, they know how good he is.
Yeah.
All of them deep down know they're like, I couldn't jump that high.
Yeah.
I couldn't do any of that with my body. I just drive this pickup truck and wear these sunglasses. I can't do that.
My 3-year-old daughter could do that. That was one of the comments that somebody, I can't remember, somebody was reading it out loud. It was really funny.
That's pretty, damn, she's talented. Give that girl pro skate. Let's go.
Who's the English guy? Like he does
Tom G. Moise.
Yeah. And he's like, though his angle on it was so funny. He's like, wait, what you're telling me is your fucking daughter's as good as Danny Beer, man. Get off the internet. Damn, that is such a good angle. You should be excited.
He's right.
Yeah, that's funny. The English have a good way of like spinning things into ways that maybe we would have never thought, you know. They're so funny. English people are hilarious.
Yeah, it's their method of articulating a funny thing. It makes it even funnier. Maybe it's just because I'm American, but
and their language, right? Like they have so many words. There's so many more words than we do for things.
Fun words too.
Yeah, really fun ones. Like they have like 6 words for every little thing.
Cheeky's a fun word.
Yeah. Yeah. Taking the piss. I like that one a lot.
He does say that one. They're taking the piss on the show.
Yeah.
And it's not like when you guys are actually pissing.
Yeah, exactly. Taking skiing and taking the piss is making fun of somebody. Yeah. I love my English boys. Some of my favorite people. What else is new? What else is up? How much time do we have left? What else do we have to cover?
We don't have to cover anything.
We don't have to cover anything, dude. We're just here to hang out.
What made you guys start doing a podcast? What was lacking in the world of podcasts that made you two go, you know what? We're gonna give it to them. This is it.
Just like Jump Street had so much to cover after a while, and there's so many different people we kind of felt like Jump Street had so many other people that they were getting to, older people that we definitely didn't have a connection with, like John Ortiz, Ray Mendez, just all these different people. Chris Edwards, they're just so much more familiar with those guys that it feels like they're not going to get to some of the younger guys that like we know very well.
And that we're around during these like, during this like dark period of rollerblading. Like there's so many people that stuck around and they're still not getting the shine that they were supposed to get. Like even like now that rollerblading is coming back as a force. Yeah. So we're here to basically shine light on those people, the people that like kept it going. The fact that it's still here is because of the people that like we're choosing.
Cool. Good. I don't know where I fit into that equation because I'm an old guy, but
I totally disagree, man. You were making movies that whole time when it was like in that lull, man. Like stayed skating.
Okay, that would be how I'm in the equation in the sense that I never left. I get it.
Right. Yeah, in the sense like these are people that never left. Like they're just people that are for skating.
Get some really young guys on too, like your boy. What is his name?
Parker?
Skating. Oh yeah, him too. Jordan, maybe.
Oh, are you talking about War?
Jordan Williams.
Oh, we haven't had Jordan on yet.
Yeah, I'm saying like get like really young guys like that. You know what I mean?
So, like crazy enough, Jordan's our age. Me and Taylor's age.
You guys 25 or something?
We're
Just
20.
turned 28.
I'm 27.
That's
Oh yeah, happy birthday to Taylor. He turned 28 the other day.
2 years. 2 years left.
Old as fuck.
Then I'll be old as fuck. I got 2
How old are
years.
you?
37.
37. Nice.
Yeah.
83.
Yeah.
Right? Or are you an early
Yeah,
birthday?
83. Good math. Good math. Yeah. 83. Yeah. You guys were in fucking diapers when I was skating.
Oh yeah.
Motherfuckers. I've been skating since you was in diapers.
Straight up.
Say something.
Yeah, now I'm trying to make
You gotta
videos
grab-
that are better than
You gotta
yours.
grab your backslides, kids.
You don't adhere to that.
No. Gotta stay fakey.
That's a tough one.
Old man rules.
Yeah.
You gotta grab your tricks and stay fakey. Do whatever you want. You young kids make the rules, man. You guys are the young ones. We need to be listening to you. That's the way I feel.
I think we should call front farms a full torque. So I don't know how many people agree with that.
I don't agree with that at all.
Daily Bread tried doing that a long time ago. It didn't
Cool
stick.
name.
Yeah, didn't stick.
No.
What's your debate on the porn star? Let's get
I have
into-
no horse in this race on the porn star one. Couldn't care. The
How about
Savannah one, I got a horse in that race for sure though.
I could give two fucks about that horse. What were you gonna say, Taylor?
No, do you have any stake in that one? Not the
What-
Savannah
what?
one.
The Ellie porn one
Yeah.
or porn?
Porn? Do you say anything differently now?
No. Do you?
No.
Yeah. What's the point?
It's a classic.
It's just the name.
That's
Well,
it.
Ron Jeremy is arguably the most famous porn star. So, and
What
sex
about
work is real
Jenna?
work.
Jenna Jameson was pretty popular.
Joey
yeah.
liked the male porn stars. That's who he was checking out more often.
Yeah.
That's
Whatever.
okay.
Yeah, everyone's got their different favorite porn stars.
Unfortunately, Ron Jeremy is a creep, I guess, right? He got Me Too pretty bad, right?
Oh,
Really?
I don't know anything about
Oh,
that.
yeah, bad, real bad,
Oof.
real
Really?
bad. Yeah. He might be like, in jail or something. Yeah, there might be. It was heavy. I don't stay up on my porn star drama, but or gossip rather. But that guy he was involved in some really creepy shit. I actually just learned this.
I'm learning it all right now.
Yeah, thank you for informing me because I'm
Yeah.
gonna stop using that as my argument for the porn
Yeah.
star.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, that's not a good argument. Yeah. I would think the argument is that there's porn stars of every sex. I don't see how it alienates anybody, right?
Yeah, I guess that's like probably one of the most inclusive grinds that we have. It accepts all
Yeah.
sexual orientation, sexuality, whatever you want. You do them all.
It's just whatever.
Do it in groups. I don't know.
Communal.
Yeah, everyone get out in the park and do it.
Yeah. No, I actually don't have much. The horse in that race or whatever. Whatever expression you were using for that. I don't really care that much, but I do think it's silly to try to change the name. It's kind of dumb. What was it? The pop star was really bad. I was like,
Oh,
come on, guys. Like, that's silly. People saying P star doesn't really bother me. Whatever.
yeah.
I'm like doing shit like that anyway. Like when you're logging footage and stuff. Like, it's like TTP, not true top porn star, right? Like,
Star doesn't bother me too much, but it's like, why are you going out of your way? I don't know.
right. Then that's really what it comes down to. It's like you're just like creating new arguments. You're creating some hill to die on. You don't need to. Just go skate.
Yeah, you don't have to fucking lay on that sword.
Yeah, exactly. Don't call it a porn star then. But like, don't
Just
you don't-
stop doing it. You should
Right.
just stop doing porn stars if you're not going to call it that.
Go abolish porn. How about that? Go die on that sword. Go abolish porn. Good luck too, by the way.
I've had a
Gonna
tough
need it.
time with the trick, the Mistral. I
I
always
have,
call
I have a real hard time with mistrials. I can't like quite get top side. Is that what you're saying?
no, I was just saying the name. I always call it a Mistral because Mistral sounds like an accident. I've always called it a Mistral and people make fun of me. I think I'll never
Good.
stop.
You do that on purpose.
At this point, I'm just like, yeah, it's kind of just what I call it. I think it's wrong though. Everyone calls
I
it a
think people-
mistrial.
Yeah,
Well,
I
the
think
name
people
of it
should
is
make fun of you
mistrial.
for that.
It's a mistrial, but whether that's a cool name or a good name, that's a good. Yeah, I don't know. Somebody who was I just talking to? I think Brasco was trying to tell me that the name mistrial to him sounded tough, and he was like trying to like talk about how tough of a grind. Because
That sounds like something Justin would try to argue.
like, yeah, because you think about it, it's like, you know, it might be like somebody in the mob and they like get out for like because there's a mistrial and like they got off with some mob shit. I can't remember if that's exactly what he said, but I'm sure it was something stupid like that. And he's like, that's why it sounds tough. And I'm like, okay.
That's one way to put it.
That's the way you feel. Mistrial.
Damn. Wait, so which way do you mistrial? Do you do it off your backside or you do it off your sole foot?
Probably my sole foot. When I learned him when I was a kid, I did him with my backslide, but very poorly. I can do him probably both ways, but not very well either way.
Then neither of them feel good.
I'm just not very good at them. I think that might be something I lost in thems actually, which is weird because I felt like the way I needed to strap thems up for them to be supportive for everything else kind of like killed my ability to like open up in that way. You know what I mean?
Like that hip open, that like hip.
Yeah. It's like it didn't kill like sweat stances for me. It didn't kill top sides or top soles or fish brains or top acids, but mistrials I like. It's not even like I struggle with them. I like struggle to even like consider them now, unless it's like the right thing. You know what I mean? Like especially at the ledge. Like whereas like maybe with the RB skates, I would like maybe a little more freely, not like just not be afraid to just like go try a top mistrial on something. Whereas now I would look at a ledge in my current setting, just knowing the way it's gonna flex, and I'm going, it's probably not gonna end well for me if I try that. So I'll just like I'll let somebody else do that. There's somebody out there that can do it just fine. It doesn't need to be me.
I wonder what it is about the skates. Maybe they're more centered or something.
I don't know. Yeah, it's a really good question. It's like I bet I could just loosen them up like a few clips, and I've like done things like that where like, and that'll like allow me to like dial in a little bit more on certain grinds, but then like the rest of everything else feels just off.
Might be a little bit off, yeah.
But it's like doing this just so I can like lock it in like this, and then I land and I'm like back to like doing that. Like, I'd rather like just be really dialed in and not do this combination. I'll just do this combination instead, and it'll be just fine. Like, don't need to do a mistrial.
So are you going to have a full part in your next piece coming out?
Mm-hmm.
What's your process like building up a part like that? Because you have a very wide vocabulary that you like to include in your section.
What's my process? That's a big question.
You
got a list? Are you like one of those guys? I got this list.
A little bit of a list. Like if I see a spot, yeah, like if I see a spot, yeah, I'll have an idea for it. But I learned in 2020 that you can't really do that. I don't know about you guys, but in New York, it became like a goof. Like things were just like spots are just disappearing, like dropping like flies. Yeah, it was crazy. It was like crazy. So if you eye a spot and you're like, I'm coming back to you, motherfucker. You go there next week, and that motherfucker's gone, or it's capped, or yeah, it's a different building all of a sudden. Yeah, it's like insane. It was like the spots were just like disappearing on us.
The spot pandemic.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. So it became this like a kind of like a running gag. Like every time that would happen, we would just be like, see, this is why you just got to do the trick, man. if you see it, just fucking do it, or else it's gonna disappear next week. And that's the fact. And that happened for a handful of things. So like I try not to like, you know, I know I'm only mentioning that because like I might like write down some things I want to do, but I try to, after this year, I try not to do that too much. I try to, like, if I'm there, just fucking do it, because it's not going to be the same. The city's just changing, and yeah, it's really weird, man. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you just got to do it. You know, a lot of the times I would hang on to things because like Goose wouldn't be there, so I'll go, oh, I got it, but I'll wait till Goose comes out and I'll go back and do it. So I do that a lot. Not to knock any of the other boys in the crew, but some, you know how it is.
It's a preference thing.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
You know how you want it to look.
Exactly. And it's possible that, like, especially with the style of skating that I do, like you guys do like big stuff. So if there's a margin for error, you know.
Oh, for sure.
A lot of stuff that I do is very like intricate, and if
it's more about the choreography between the two of you.
Say it again.
It's more about like the choreography between the two of you.
Right. Yeah.
Like coming together and making it cohesive is like more important than like you doing the right thing specifically.
Yeah. If that synergy is not there, that trick is going to be bad. It's going to be unwatchable a lot of the time.
Dude, the trick Nemo did when I was skating with you guys in New York, where he grabbed his skate and did like a 720 on the ground and then like dropped fakie into a wall. You did the craziest snap zoom I've ever seen, but it was like, that was the way you filmed that trick. I don't know if it would have looked as impressive or dynamic if you didn't do it that way, but that's just one example I was thinking of.
Yeah, that worked out well. Yeah. I think I did that because something was messed up with my servo zoom. Not that, like, my camera's fucked, by the way. Anybody who's expecting to film a project with me this year, just know that I need a new camera. Like, don't fly out here until you know for a fact that I've bought a new camera, because my camera's really bad right now. It's been kicked like 100 too many times, and it doesn't even zoom appropriately anymore, and it's being held together by electrical tape, and there's like pieces there was like metal pieces that fell out of the bottom at one point, and I was like, I don't know what you do, but I'll find out.
Do you have like intentions of upgrading to something soon, or you have any like ideas?
I wouldn't upgrade. I would just get the same camera, just
another HPX.
Yeah, it's kind of the only camera I would want to film skating with, I guess. Yeah.
Any specific reason?
Mostly the sensors, like this CCD sensors. Are you still on a VX?
No,
you HD.
Yeah, I'm using a Panasonic, an AGAC 160. It's like a step up from the HPX, probably like a generation or two later.
Yeah. But it's CMOS.
Yes. Some of it is a little funny, like the steady shot. The CMOS sensor will like jump, and like the auto correction's a little weird on it sometimes. I do see that.
Yeah, but it's probably really nice at night. It probably shoots 1080, 60.
Oh, that's there. Those are two of the main things I really wanted. Yeah, it's got gain stages, which the VX does not have.
Yeah. But
gear talk.
Yeah, gear talk. I know. I knew that's the dangerous thing with me, is that you can go down two different rabbit holes of gear talk that you can stay away.
Yeah. I'll take you on one, Taylor will take you on the other.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I can go down both of those pretty easily without realizing it, but I'd rather stay talking more philosophy and stuff like that. But yeah, gear talk is so boring to me. Like when I hear I like doing it, but when I hear other people doing it on podcasts, I'm like, pause, you're done. I will not listen to you again. Like, yeah, it's really bad. It's really bad, because that is another like Back to Blader thing. And yeah, I'm sure you guys have ran into this. Like, man, Back to Blader is gonna fucking hate me after this podcast. Jesus Christ, they probably won't make it this far. Let's be honest. But the one thing that drives me insane is that they love talking gear. Like, so if you see one, all they want to talk about is like, yeah, man, I took 15 years off, and like, yeah, I got a pair of Aeons, and like, yeah, they didn't quite fit my feet. So then I got the Thems, but like, then I got the Intuition liner, and that was a little too small for me. And you know, I wanted to try flat. I've never tried to see everybody skating flat these days. I wanted to try flat, but you know, I'm not quite there yet. But it looks really fun, and so I'm thinking I'm gonna do Annie Rocker. I tried the Aeons because the Aeons would be good for flat. I mean, it's like really good. You know, like I just fell asleep like 3 times listening to your conversation. Like I'm just like I'm like looking for a way out most of the time. When maybe this is good for me to say. So future back to approaching me about gear talk will know that like just don't have this conversation and I don't care.
Fuck yeah. Glad we could do that for you.
Go skate.
Yeah, that's probably the most important thing.
Go fucking skate. Like, you're gonna be great.
It is pretty crazy when they're like, you just get there and you're like trying to skate, and some guy's just like trying to talk to you, and it's like, yo, man, we were like here, we drove an hour.
Yeah.
Let's just do this for a while.
What do you got? Oh, is that the long frame on a small boot? Whoa.
Could I try that on?
Why do you do
on
that?
my foot?
You like that it's long? Is that like, should I do that? No. I don't know. Yeah.
Have you messed with the cuff at all? No, it's just more gear talk, like exactly what I'm saying.
I haven't, dude. You just reminded. I forgot about that. Yeah, I got to do that. I keep forgetting to do that, but you just reminded me to do it. I'm gonna do it.
Nice.
I'm a high cuff guy. That might be the mistrial. That could be the mistrial that you're gonna.
You have them high or you have them low?
I have them high.
Oh, that's definitely the mistrial right there. Give it a go.
I forgot about that.
See, that's why we did this gear talk.
Gear talk to me. I forgot that I had cuffs that moved. Okay, this is who you're talking to. Anybody that actually knows me, anybody that knows me knows that I can't put skates together. And like, so the idea that people like to approach me to talk gears, like for anybody that knows me, is fucking hilarious because like,
why can't you put skates together?
Oh, I fucking hate it. Because something always strips.
Oh, you're one of those.
Yeah,
dude, that's fucking lore.
And then I gotta call Ariel, and then Ariel's gotta come over with a drill or like a
dude, that's so funny.
or something. And like, I just can't. Like, I fucking fear putting skates together. Like when I get like putting the Kaiser Fluid 5s together, fuck that, nightmare.
Putting the spacers in. Oh, you probably had a great time.
My thing was the wheel, like the bearing spacer, and you put the wheel in, and it's the frame. It fits in the frame so tight that like if that's not perfectly lined up, in order for you to like move the wheel, you move like the bearing spacer is so pinched in there that if it's not lined up in a way that the axle can actually go through, you can't adjust it. There's no adjustment. You know, creates are like that too. I hear wish frames are like that. Man, it is.
Creates are probably the worst to work with.
Yeah. I hear wish is even worse. I've heard several people say that wish frames like are a complete nightmare.
At least like wishes, they're like soft enough where you can like pry them open when you go to like get in the center. I had to put K's together one time and like I like basically just spread them cheeks like fucking got the wheel in there. Yeah.
Create originals are a long time ago. I used to skate creates, and I remember like being out of town and I had a brand new pair of skates, like a shadow setup, and I was meeting up with the locals to go skate park, and you know, yada yada yada. I did not end up going to the skate park that night because I could not get my skates together. And I have this one memory of like sitting on the floor. I had one skate, maybe 60% done. And it's like, at this point, it's like probably midnight or like 1 a.m. The session had been over for like 3 hours. I missed the session by like 3 hours, and I started building the skates like an hour or two before the session sort of thing. And I had like 2 wheels in the skate. And I remember like sitting like red-faced, like drooling, fucking screaming mad by myself, and like taking the skate and giving up and just throwing it across the hotel room at the wall. Because I was so mad at the Create original frames. I could not get a wheel in. And that's who you're trying to have back to blading gear talks with. Somebody who doesn't even know how to put wheels in. So anybody who's thinking about having gear talk with me, just know that this is who I am. I'm not a gear guy.
Save it, guys.
Yeah, save it. There's somebody else that's gonna want to have that chat with you. Promise.
Yeah, I heard the guys at the them skate shop love a good back to blader.
Oh man, yeah, he gets a lot of those. Hey.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
he's got all that gear sitting out there in the displays.
Yeah. Well, let's just do.
A lot of cool options, man.
Oh, these liners worth it? That's my favorite one. Are these liners worth it? No. Put your jug liners in, bud. You're fine.
Extra tongues too. Don't forget those.
Oh yeah, the neoprene wrap, baby. Let's go.
Yeah. No, they're not worth it. Are the Wizards worth it? No. They're not worth it. Just don't do it, man. Why are you asking me this? You know, like, I would straight up tell people now. Why are you asking me this? Are you really asking me this?
Do you pick your feet up when you wizard? This is actually a serious question.
Do I pick my feet up?
Yeah.
What's that?
What do you mean?
I tried them recently. Someone had a pair, and immediately when I put them on, I'm like, you don't stride by. I didn't have to pick my feet up.
No.
You don't have to. Yeah. You can. I mean, yeah. You can. Like, you can, but like, you don't have to. Yeah, because the rocker, you can just like, you can like mogul your way. You know what I mean? Because you're like you're like this, so you're kind of creating like a mini mogul. You can just pick up speed by just like going like, and then you're like fucking ripping, dude.
That's the craziest part. It was like I'm going fast by not picking my feet up.
But even my weird wheel setup, you can do that.
What's that?
Even my like weird wheel setup, you have that like option to not pick your feet up. Like
yeah. I do that all the time on my Dems now because of just like the little skill that I learned skating big wheels and skating Wizards, understanding a rocker, understanding where my weight can go. Yeah, now I just put like vents on, and like that's just like the first thing I do is just like a little snake swerve just to pick up, and then you let go, and it's nice. Like, is that your dog?
Mm-hmm.
Aw.
Yeah, she's been a little annoying right now. It's okay. She'll be all right.
She's been good though.
Yeah, she's been pretty good. She's waiting for dinner. It's gonna be dinner time once we head out of here.
We've been at this for over 2 hours now. That's usually how long we rip it for.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I don't want to keep you guys long. I'll talk.
No,
about it, but yeah.
I mean, I'm chilling. Yeah, just sugar's not.
Yeah. I think we've, unless there's anything, we've probably bored enough people at this point. I think.
Dude, crazy enough, people listen all the way to this point.
Yeah.
You've had some things that are pretty. I'm sorry.
I said you've had some pretty good guests on, like Don Bruce, really good entertaining guests. Yeah, he's just an entertaining human being.
Stuart was cool to meet. I'd never really talked to Stuart. Interesting guy.
I need to finish his, but yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah, I spent
on his years.
Yeah, I agree. Very wise.
Very stoic.
Yeah, totally. We could all learn a little something from him, I think.
Well,
thanks. Do you have anything to say to rollerblading? Anything to impart, or
just support your local bodega and look out for our new video. Enter the Bodega 2021.
Dun, dun, dun.
You heard it, folks.
Fuck yeah.
All right.
Thanks again, Mike.
Thanks, Mike. Bye, everyone.
Thanks for having me. I don't know how to stop this. I'll leave. Peace.